games, 2 wins by an average of 43.5 points for USA basketball as the pre-Olympic tour resumes from Macau, China. LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony combined for 37 points against Turkey, and they lead Team USA against world power Lithuania today on ESPN2. And we welcome the basketball world to the Cotai Arena at the Venetian in Macau as both the United States and Lithuania continue their preparations for the upcoming Beijing Olympics. Both teams sit in the top 5 of the current FIBA World Rankings. Rick Kamla and Fran Fraschilla on the call. And Fran, after a reunion between Dwight and Hedo, LeBron James was every bit the king in his return yesterday.
Well, LeBron James played all 5 positions for Mike Krzyzewski, and he keyed what was a very unselfish Team USA attack. They shot almost 70% from the field.
LeBron and Carmelo combined to shoot 13 of 15. And Fran, it's time for your Chevy keys to the game.
Well, they've got to tighten up the defense in the first quarter. That's evident, and especially against a higher level of competition in Lithuania. Find Lithuania's shooters. They can really knock it down from deep. And then you have to start in this exhibition series working on your half-court execution, because there are going to be teams that make you play in the half-court.
Time for the State Farm starting lineups, and for the United States of America, it is a familiar 5. It is the 5 that everybody hopes brings home gold in Beijing. Kidd, Bryant, James, Anthony, and Howard, and of course D.Wade, the 6th man. And for Lithuania, they're led by Šarūnas Jasikevičius, one of the all-time winners in international basketball. He's joined in the backcourt by Rimantas Kaukėnas. The small forward is Ramūnas Ciskauskas. The power forward is Krzysztof Lavrinovičius, and the center, property of the San Antonio Spurs, Robertas Javtikis. That is a very, very strong Lithuanian team. We expect an entertaining ball game here today. And Fran, why don't you tell everybody at home some of the differences between NBA rules and FIBA rules?
Well, in FIBA basketball, things are a little bit shorter. It's only a 40-minute game. Shorter three-point line, only 5 team fouls. The court is slightly shorter, and keep in mind the trapezoid lane makes it a little bit harder to post up deep in that 3-second lane.
And we mentioned D.Wade, the 6th man for the United States team. The 6th man for Lithuania will be Linas Kleiza, and that is Mike Krzyzewski, head coach of the U.S. Olympic team. 3 national championships, 28 years with Duke, and just a fantastic resume. 803 coaching victories, 6th all-time. And Fran, that's just a few more than you had.
That's quite a few more, and he's also got 20 first-round NBA selections. So
wow, he has
a really good feel for this team. We mentioned yesterday he's got a great temperament for coaching a group of guys that are superstars, if you will.
You see Jerry Colangelo there to the left, the managing director of the USA basketball program, and LeBron James getting everybody ready here in Macau. Do they love LeBron in China or what?
Well, I think they've embraced Team USA. You're talking about a country with over 1 billion people and 300 million people who play basketball in some way, shape, or form.
And even more that love the game of basketball. The colors for today's game: Lithuania in green and white, the United States of America in white. And we are ready to go. And it'll be interesting to see, as I mentioned, Linas Kleiza, teammate with Carmelo Anthony on Denver. They have gone at it before in international competition. They like to talk a little smack to each other. And we are underway. The United States with the first possession.
Well, the next 3 games in this exhibition tour, as K.Bryant knocks a shot down, all 3 teams are in Group A. So Russia, Australia, and now Lithuania, teams that Team USA can see again
in the medal round, because the United States in Group B. And here is Šarūnas Jasikevičius missing the first shot of the game for Lithuania. They're a fantastic 3-point shooting team.
Well, they really are. They're well coached by Ramūnas Butautis. Very solid in execution.
Here we go, the first dunk of the game from Dwight Howard, and he has barely missed in these exhibition games. He was 7 of 8 yesterday, 10 of 11 in the first 2 games, and a steal by Kidd. Carmelo Anthony down in a heap. He's okay. LeBron James, a no-look into Dwight. It's not a dunk, but it is a lay-in, plus the foul for Dwight Howard.
Boy, this is a quick start for Team USA, and they don't run a lot of offense through Dwight Howard, but you get an example of how strong he is. Look how deep he gets the ball in the post, and you're talking 260 pounds of live wire.
And you're talking about Yaptakis, 6'11", 250. I mean, he's a rare guy, internationally speaking, who has the body type to hang with a Dwight Howard.
Well, he really does, and at one time in his career, he was a really intriguing NBA prospect and has turned into a solid player in Europe. Played his high school ball in Akron, Ohio.
Here is Jasikevicius, gobbled up by K.Bryant, almost forced into a turnover. Saved by Yaptakis. Oh, and he goes in and jams it down. Oh, my goodness.
Well,
and he says, Dwight Howard, if you can do it, I can as well.
Well, this is what we talked about. This guy is an intriguing athlete. Started in Arizona, was in a really serious motorcycle accident back in 2002. Lost his athleticism, but I'll tell you, over the ensuing years, he's gotten it back.
K.Bryant defended well, and he can't hit that shot. He was 1 of 5 yesterday, now 1 of 2 here today.
Now,
knocked away by Jason Kidd.
Lithuania is a team that loves to run, and they're also excellent in terms of half-court execution. Jasikevicius, the young man you talked about, played at Maryland, but their Achilles heel right now is they don't have great point guard play, particularly at his backup positions.
Jasikevicius, cold to start the game. Kidd gets right through, feeds to Howard, and Howard lays it in. He's got 3 field goals early.
Boy, all you've got to do is run the floor if you're Dwight Howard, which he does well, by the way, and Jason Kidd will find you.
Here is Siskowskis.
Nice defense there. They're not letting him use the pick-and-roll screen.
Good pick-and-roll defense, and it's going to set up a sexy jam by LeBron James.
See, now that's one of those 3 or 4 different pick-and-roll defensive wrinkles that we're starting to see. They did not allow the ball handler to use the screen at the top and forced them away, and that slowed down Lithuania.
Early on, Lithuania has a dunk by Yaptakis to show for their efforts, but they need time. They are reeling early on.
While filming a movie, 3 of Hollywood's biggest stars were kidnapped.
Were there some rewrites?
Now they'll have to stop acting and start fighting back.
Those dudes was trained soldiers.
Yeah. And we trained actors.
Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr.
Damn.
Tropic Thunder.
Somebody close to you said, one more flop, it's over.
Somebody said they were close to me?
August 13th, rated R.
Best 7 out of 12?
I'd love to, but I can't. 24 Hour Fitness is a proud partner of the 2008 U.S. Olympic team and of everyday athletes everywhere.
Hey, you want to come to our barbecue this weekend?
Actually, I'll be in China.
You could have just said no.
The Americans have won the gold medal.
Standing up there, I'm hearing the national anthem played.
With a gold medal around your neck.
I just remember standing there thinking, I don't want this moment to end.
I mean, there really isn't anything like it.
I was really living out exactly what I had dreamed.
I remember my coach yelling to me, Olympic champion.
Michael Phelps, swimming.
Al-Ham, gymnastics.
Laura Wilkinson, diving. My coach just kept saying, we did it, we did it. Oh, we did it, the big it.
ESPN's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by Chevy and American Revolution and McDonald's.
And we return you to Macau. Rick Campbell, Fran Fraschilla on the call. And out of the timeout, let's see what Lithuania comes up with. Jasikevicius has been shooting and missing early on.
Oh, see, I like this. K.Bryant now is guarding Jasikevicius, the only true ball handler. And this is going to cause Lithuania some trouble because they do not handle the ball well.
And an encore from LeBron James.
A good strategy by Coach K. We talked about K.Bryant being the defensive stopper for Team USA. And look what he's doing to Jasikevicius now, forcing him to his left hand, putting enormous pressure on him.
Siskowskis on the move, throws it up with the left hand, and it's knocked off the rim, and you can do that in FIBA play.
Not only can you do it, but Team USA is starting to do it well.
Mello with the miss. Dwight Howard the rebound. Dwight Howard going for his 4th field goal. It's knocked away and saved by LeBron. No looks it into Dwight Howard. He missed the dunk. He's looking to the official for a foul. None coming. It's Lithuania ball. And as we take a look at Coach K.Bryant, Team USA has gotten off to slow starts defensively in the first 2 games. That has not been the case here.
No, and I think it's primarily because they understand that through the years, Lithuania is one of the top clubs in the world. Now, they have some things going against them. There's no Ilgauskas from the Cavaliers. Darius Sangala from the Wizards is hurt, and Jasikevičius is starting to show some age. But this is a team that knocked them off in 2004 in the preliminary round in Athens.
And this Lithuanian team ranked 5th in the FIBA World Rankings. They are legit, but not showing it here early on. And a strip by Jason Kidd out of bounds. That was Rimantas Kaukanis driving for Lithuania. And they are under attack early on.
Well, they really are. Kaukanis, a guy that a lot of people remember, a very good player. At Seton Hall, he's become a terrific European player, but he's not really a pure point guard, but he can shoot it.
Although he misses there, K.Bryant up ahead to Jason Kidd. And Kidd just goes in and scores. I thought he was going to go over his ear to Carmelo for a vicious slam, but 14-2 USA.
But it's important for Jason Kidd to look for some scoring opportunities now, because when you get to Olympic play, people are going to back off him.
Krzysztof Lavrinovic, a big that can hit the 3. And Dwight Howard is fouled by Javtikas. That's his 2nd. And now a decision coming up for Lithuania, whether to get him out or leave him in. And as you can see there, 22-10 all-time in Olympic play. They've only been at 4 Olympics, all of them recent, and half of their losses have come to the United States.
That's exactly right. As you see, Coach Butautas, whose father was a terrific player for the old Soviet Union. It's a great point because they've only been in Olympic play since '92. Since the breakup of the Soviet Union. Now you see a little zone. First time we've seen zone against Team USA since early in the Canada game.
And K.Bryant showing you just how good he is. The athleticism, the fading, hanging, jump shot off glass. And Linas Kleiza has checked into the game, and at least on the defensive end for Lithuania, he was on Carmelo Anthony. And here is Carmelo Anthony up ahead of the pack. He goes glass, can't hit. Knocked away deftly by LeBron James and saved in. Look at the passing. Kidd to Dwight Howard and 1.
Well, see, right now, everything's been keyed by the defensive pressure in the half court, because we mentioned Lithuania doesn't handle the ball great, and that's opened up some great scoring opportunities. And remember, first 2 games, those guards of Team USA taking some chances, not coming up with the steals, giving up easy opportunities. Not today.
And that is foul number 3 on Javtikas. The United States rolling early, 18-5 over Lithuania.
To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. Big Mac. Pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Big Mac. To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. Mac. Pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
Big Mac, you so want one.
The pre-Olympic tour for the USA basketball team continues. K.Bryant, LeBron James, and the rest of the squad representing red, white, and blue have 2 more pre-Olympic tune-ups coming on ESPN2. Sunday morning at 3 a.m. Eastern, the United States takes on Russia. Then Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern, USA faces Australia. USA basketball pre-Olympic games on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. So for Jason Kidd, he's perfect from the field in 2+ exhibition games.
2 for 2. He made a 3 the other night. Of course, the layup. And what's going to be interesting now is this is the best start this starting group has gotten off to in the 3 games. The lift has been from Mike Krzyzewski's bench. So very shortly you'll see him go to the bench, and let's see if Chris Paul, Darren Williams, and that group can keep this going.
Dwight Howard comes off a game against Turkey in which he had 14 points and 8 rebounds. Already has 8 points and 3 rebounds here. Give him 9, and it's 19-5 USA.
And Dwight Howard really the only poor foul shooter for Team USA, and that could be a factor in Olympic play. You look at the ball pressure by K.Bryant. See, when you talk about Lithuania and its great history, the problem they have right now is they're on the downturn of what's been a terrific run. Jasikevičius is now 32. Some of these guys have been around a long time. And again, ball handling is certainly an Achilles heel.
Here's Siskauskis over Dwight Howard. And Lithuania ice cold early on. It's Siskauskis right there. He is the reigning EuroLeague MVP. Dwight Howard being featured early, and good defense down low by Lithuania. Credit Krzysztof Lavrinovic with the takeaway, and LeBron James fouls him in the backcourt.
Lavrinovic, one of those guys who has become a very, very good player. In fact, can play in the NBA. He spent the past year in Italy, where he was one of the best players in that league. He's got a twin brother, Darius, who will be in soon.
And a look at the Olympic appearances for Lithuania. In 3 of their 4 appearances, they have medaled. They've never won silver or gold, but that's nevertheless impressive.
Well, keep this in mind. Lithuania is primarily responsible for NBA players being able to play in Europe. You see the pressure there by K.Bryant, because it was the core of the Soviet team back in 1988. Guys like Sabonis and the great Marshallonis. Kurtinitis, the great shooter who's now an assistant. Because of those guys, FIBA decided to open up basketball to professional players. And Lithuania now is its own country in its own right and doing pretty well on that international scene.
D.Wade, Chris Paul. Now the backcourt for USA. And D.Wade has been spectacular. 13 of 19 in his first 2 games back from injury. Kobe now playing the 3. Defended well. Siskauskis got right out on him, and Kobe hit it anyway.
Well, the thing is, you run your half-court offense. You try to get the easy look to Howard inside. But when that doesn't work, you do have the great individual play of guys like Bryant, James, and Anthony.
Kobe's now 3 of 4. Siskauskis misses again. Dwight Howard clobbered in the backcourt. The foul on Linus Kleza, one of the most improved players in the NBA a season ago. Got his average up into double figures at about 11 per game in about 24 minutes. George Karl said of him, he's the hardest working young player I've ever had.
Well, that's a heck of a compliment. I had a chance to watch him quite a bit at Missouri. And remember, I think you know, he had 41 in the game this year against the Utah Jazz. So Linus Kleza, by the way, Montrose Christian High School in Maryland, where he played for Stu Vetter, who also coached the likes of guys like Kevin Durant. See the 2-3 zone now.
That's going in, baby. I mean, Kobe's hot. He's electric hot right now, and that was a pro 3. You knew that was going in from the moment it left his hand.
You go back to 2004 when this Team USA shot 31% from the three-point line. But when you talk about Michael Redd, Kobe, Carmelo, three-point shooting is relatively handled now by this team.
Loose ball, who wants it more? On this possession, Lithuania does. And the whistle goes against the United States of America, but they lead by 19.
This is impressive, Rick, because even though we mentioned the lack of ball handling by Lithuania, this is an experienced group with a lot of tough, hard-nosed guys. And early on, Team USA has imposed its defensive will on this team.
And finally, a basket from the perimeter for Lithuania, but here's Wade tracking it down. Oh, nice shake move. Goes up for the alley-oop. Nice catch by Dwight, and a foul. Another foul on Linus Kleza. And We've seen different looks in these games. You know, we saw Paul and Williams together in Vegas. Coach K experimented with the LeBron James at center lineup yesterday, and it seems like there's more of a concerted effort to just pound it, download it, Dwight Howard on almost every possession.
You know, it's a great point because you know you're going to get perimeter scoring. We talked about the fact that they don't run a lot of offense for Dwight Howard through him, but the unselfishness of guys like James and Wade and K.Bryant that we've seen throughout this tournament, and throw in, by the way, the point guard play. Dwight Howard is getting great looks inside because you have to concentrate on the perimeter.
Big Dwight hitting the free throw. Led the NBA in free throw attempts last season. Dwight shot a decent percentage, right around 60%. Better than Shaq.
Better than Shaq, but certainly an area that if he improves this, he's already turning into what is going to be one of the great centers in NBA history, you know, health willing.
He could become, as Chris Bosh enters the game, with better free throw shooting, Dwight could become a 25, 27, 28 PPG guy. But as long as he's hitting 60%, it'll probably be, you know, 21 to 24 kind of thing.
No, I don't think there's any question. Again, you see a situation out top where they do not allow Lithuania to run pick and roll. And this is good because they're going to see Lithuania possibly again in medal play. Lithuania is in Group A, Team USA in Group B. You're sending a message a little bit, but more importantly, they've shown different pick and roll defensive looks, which other countries will go to school on, but also give other countries something to think about. You know, in the NBA, in the course of a given season, an NBA team will play the pick and roll 7 or 8 different ways, and there's no longer the vanilla look by Team USA defensively.
Hard foul, teammate on teammate. Carmelo Anthony dragging down Linus Kleza. They are good buddies, but they love competing against each other.
And this guy, Kleza, you talk about a competitor, very physical guy, can play away from the basket, kind of an in-between, you know, 3-4 type. And really, we mention this about Carmelo all the time, 2 guys that are the prototypical international 4-man because they're so versatile both inside and out.
Plays a very good three-point shooter, showing you the stroke at the line. Lithuania within 17. Chris Paul had it knocked away from behind, and the ball goes to Lithuania. Let's look at CP3, number 2 in the MVP voting a year ago, and the debate still rages, Fran. Kobe has the trophy, the MVP trophy, and people still want to give it to Chris Paul.
Well, he's done a magnificent job for Byron Scott, but, you know, Kobe right now may be the best player on the planet, really.
I got LeBron James as the best player on the planet, but that's just me.
Let me tell you an interesting thing. When you look at the lineup they put out there yesterday with LeBron at the 5 and Carmelo at the 4, Wade, Bryant, and Paul, you may have had 5 of the 6 or 7 best players in the world on the floor at one time. Think about that for a second.
Okay, I just thought about it. D.Wade tried to slip it through to Bosh. It's out to CP3. Shot clock an issue, down to 2. Paul hoists. And he hits. It's all good for USA basketball here in exhibition game number 3.
Now, you know he loves the runner in the lane. That time that runner was a little bit out of his range.
All right, I've had a few seconds to think about it. Does Coach K call that lineup with LeBron at the 5 the best 5? Because that feels like the best 5 players on this team on the court at the same time.
Well, there's going to be times, as you see the block shot there, there's going to be times where they're going to have to deal with the likes of somebody like Yao Ming. But because LeBron is 260 and can really handle himself inside, take a look at Wade from the weak side here. Talk about help side defense. But when LeBron can manage the low post, they can get away with that lineup some.
Basket scored by Petrovicius, and you liked his play at the EuroLeague last year.
Absolutely. Young man who played at South Carolina for Dave Odom and is a late bloomer. Actually had a somewhat successful college career, but really coming into his own in the EuroLeague.
Marius Petrovicius, 28-year-old center. Played with Lietuvos Rytas in Lithuania a year ago, and Saras, that's his nickname, for Sarunas. I call him Euro Magic for the no-look passes.
Played for Gary Williams at Maryland. Didn't play early in his career, and last 2 years was sensational. No, he really is one of the great competitors in European history.
Darren Williams trapped in the corner, finds Carmelo. And the thought right there probably caused that miss.
Yeah, I think you're right. Carmelo doesn't miss many. He shoots a very high international percentage from 3.
And a strong drive to the hoop. That was a goaltending violation on the United States. So Lithuania within 14.
Now, what you want to do right now, if you're Mike Krzyzewski, is make sure that the intensity level stays very high, despite the fact they've gotten out to a quick lead, because Lithuania can shoot themselves back into it.
D.Wade has a couple of free throws coming up, fouled by Kalkanis. Look at the ball dome of D.Wade. He is focused singularly on winning gold. Doesn't want to worry about his hair, getting the clean cut, or any of that stuff.
I think he just
wants to wound people over here and come home with gold.
Well, coming off a very injury-plagued season for the Miami Heat, this is sort of a fresh start for D.Wade, as he not only prepares for the Olympics, but prepares for what he wants to be a return to form, if you will, once the NBA season comes around. You take a look at the remaining games. Russia in Group A, Australia with Andrew Bogut in Group A. So these 3 games are against opponents that they may see once they get to the medal round. Of course, Group B, as we talked about yesterday, has maybe the 3 best teams in the world right now when you add Spain and Greece to the mix. Argentina also in Group A. Argentina is a little bit like Lithuania in that they've had some injuries, they've had some retirements, and maybe not quite the juggernaut they've been in recent years.
And Coach K and the USA basketball program, they're not upset. They don't feel dissed that they got put into the tougher group. They want that. They want to be seasoned and medal play ready when they hit medal play.
Well, I think that's a great point. If you look back to 2006 in the World Championships, the really only tough game they had in group play was against a game Italian team, but certainly not at the level of teams like Greece and Spain and Argentina that they saw later on. The key in Olympic play, as you know, Rick, is you just want to be in the top 4 of your group of 6, because once you get to the medal round, everything becomes one and done. The tougher opponents you see early, the more ready you get to play in that medal round.
So let me ask you this. There's a potential that the United States could match up with Lithuania in medal play.
Yeah.
And so this is an exhibition game. What is the game plan coaching-wise in terms of showing something, not showing other stuff? Do you decoy as Chris Bosh hammers it down?
Well, you do. In my opinion, you do. Now, Lithuania doesn't want to get off to a start where they're down by this much. But what you want to do is you want to save some stuff for Olympic play, and the crafty coaches will do that.
And Coach K is a crafty coach. D.Howard, 10 points, 4 rebounds, second quarter coming up.
$532, $533, $530.
Crazy times call for crazy fun. Enter the Ultimate Vegas Escape Sweepstakes at visitlasvegas.com.
What about that big play when I pitched the ball to the left? Whoa, where's my man? All the way. I stop. End zone is right there. Daylight. I see fans cheering. Touchdown. Woo, woo. It's all up in his face with stuff like this and stuff. And you do all that stuff and you make him embarrassed. Gives you like a sense of pride. Makes you want to walk around and say, I own you. Could you pass me that soda?
Rated E for everyone.
Welcome back to the Venetian in Macau, China. The United States leading 31-15 over Lithuania. Rick Hamlin, Fran Fraschilla on the call for ESPN2. Lithuania shooting 5 of 16. The United States 13 of 21. And a look at Carmelo Anthony, a man you think is the best international player in the world.
Well, because of the versatility of his ability to play inside and out, I do feel that way. He can shoot the three. He's strong enough to go inside. Puts it on the floor well. This is important. First 2 games versus Canada and Turkey, defensive effort was there, maybe not the focus, but early on in this game, the ball pressure has been outstanding. You see Lithuania now staying in that 2-3 zone.
Definite improvement for the United States defensively in the first quarter. They gave up 24 points to a Canadian team that, well, let's just say it was less than spectacular. 30 to Turkey, as you said, 15 to Lithuania. That's a very impressive defensive first quarter, and scoring right there. Petrovicius once again.
Now, Petrovicius has gone inside. Clays has gone inside. And what you want to do if you're Team USA right now is pass the ball. There you go.
Paul from the corner over the backboard to Lithuania. And they're creeping back into this game a little bit. They've, you know, I wouldn't say it's manageable, but they're within 14.
No, what they've done now, Rick, is they've gone zone and they forced Team USA to shoot the ball quickly. And when I say pass the ball, move it side to side. See if you can get it inside first. Don't rely just on jump shots, even though we know this team is a better shooting team than Team USA has had in the last couple of international events.
Petrovicius fighting well for that rebound. A reload here for Siskauskas. Nice strip by Darren Williams. Wade gets it up ahead to him, and don't sleep on Darren Williams. He can turn it over on you. He draws the foul right here, but we've seen several statement dunks from Darren Williams in his NBA career.
Yeah, we have, but there's an example right now. There is, instead of going up one-handed, take a look. Go up 2 hands, draw the contact, finish the play. Don't necessarily need the highlight play right there. You need the 2 definite and maybe the potential for 3. Now, that's a coach talking.
And he's been coached well because Siskauskas, who was a boxer in his childhood and one of the toughest players in the EuroLeague, he'll knock you on your butt. So Darren Williams goes up there with 2 hands strong. If he would have gone up there with 1, Siskauskas might have blocked that thing.
Well, anybody, what he did do is he did go up with 1. He took that second hand off the ball and did not have a chance now at the 3-point play.
Sharpshooter M.Redd ready to check in for the United States, and that was the all-time lane violation by Howard and Yavtikis, and not called.
FIBA basketball, they let that go. If both players go in at the same time, referees just ignore it.
Fishy officiating in play.
You see what they're doing now? They're taking Jasikevičius and they're making him use his left hand.
And Jasikevičius hates that call. Chris Paul says, give me that ball. Red from the corner.
Now, how about that? They go to the zone. Lithuania. Mike Krzyzewski brings in the zone buster. Good ball movement. Red gets the open look. How about coming right off the bench 12 minutes into the game and knocking down your first shot?
M.Redd was 6 of 8 from 3-point range in the first game. 0 of 2 yesterday against Turkey. Off to a good start here. Jasikevičius. And I have a feeling he hit that not only because he was due, but because he's ticked off about that play with Chris Paul.
Well, he is, and what happened right there is Team USA really jammed in on the post player, and that left Saris open.
Red again. Oh, he almost got that one to go. Dwight Howard says, just couldn't corral that rebound. It's Siskauskis back for Lithuania. They trail by 16. Siskauskis from NBA range, and he hits it. So, after the slow start by Euromagic and Siskauskis, they hit back-to-back threes.
You mentioned in the open, remember we talked about the keys to the game. Find Lithuania's shooters, because they put some deadly weapons on the floor.
Wade a little bit short with that lefty scoop. Rebound to Yazaitis.
See, the zone now has really started to pay dividends for Lithuania. They're forcing Team USA to shoot it quickly.
Yazaitis with the miss. Yeah, I don't think Lithuania got the correct start time for this game. We're seeing the real Lithuania right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, they are proficient at playing this defense, by the way. Very effective zone defensive team.
Red on the move to Wade for the lay-in.
What you want to do is not rely on jump shots versus the zone, but attack the paint.
And Jasikevičius saying to himself, what did I get myself into? With K.Bryant and Chris Paul all over me. And log on to NBAstore.com now for the best selection of USA basketball gear. If you want your favorite players in a funky number, like number 24, K.Bryant, wearing the number 10 in the red, white, and blue, go to NBAstore.com. Simas Yazaitis had it knocked away by LeBron, and it's taken by M.Redd. Numbers for the United States. Kobe to Darren. Out to Redd for three.
Well, this is a good tempo right now for Lithuania because they're forcing Team USA to shoot the ball quickly in the half court.
Look at that ball movement. Beautiful, and it's paid off by Javtikas.
After the slow start, they're starting to get their rhythm. But you gotta love the fact that USA will push the ball on both misses and makes, and a great example right there. The stoic one.
And Coach K had a great line. Speaking of stoic, he actually mixed in a joke yesterday at the post-game press conference. When asked about LeBron James, who obviously missed the first game with the ankle injury and played very well yesterday, got the player of the game, Coach K said, obviously he's healthy. He got the player of the game. I voted for him twice. You see Coach K only gets one vote?
Yeah, I got it. Oh, I got it.
No, I knew you got it. I'm just not, for everybody still asleep on the East Coast.
Now watch how they handle pick and roll here. Very good. They don't let them use it.
Jasikevičius and Javtikas, a little pick and roll. The United States not having it at all. Red another steal. Darren Williams. Nice feed to LeBron James. How did he find him?
Terrific. Terrific look by Darren Williams. Good point guards are able to look up the floor and count defenders, but also know who on their team is running with them.
Look at this. Another steal. Darren Williams fouled in the open court by Jasikevičius. And a good foul from the Lithuania side of things. You see the look on the face right there of Siskauskis. We don't know what's hitting us right now.
Now, Lithuania has struggled in friendly play. By friendly games, we talk about exhibition games. They have struggled because of the ball handling. When they handle the ball, we've seen them shoot the ball well and get it inside. But the ability to handle this pressure is certainly going to be a factor for them to medal. But you know what, Rick? The interesting thing is not many teams in Olympic play are going to pressure like Team USA is able to do.
Javtikas, another nasty slam.
Good example right there. When you handle the ball well, you can get the ball inside against Team USA.
Dwight doesn't throw it down, but he answers promptly, and the United States back by 18. Javtikas once won a slam dunk contest on a 12-foot hoop. And Dwight Howard wanted to go 12 in the dunk contest just to prove how cool he is. Didn't need it, though. Just pulled out the Superman dunk. And, you know, Gerald Green was phenomenal in that dunk contest last year, but Dwight Howard that much better. And Dwight Howard is the player of the game so far here in Macau. 13 points on 5 of 8 from the floor.
When you're the greatest golfer on earth, what's next?
New Gatorade Tiger with 25% more electrolytes. It's in Tiger Woods. Is it in you?
You tell me what's more original. Darkbane's unorthodox take on the cat's cradle? Or this?
Tonight, X Games 14 continues as BMX king Kevin Robinson threatens to three-peat in big air. Then, the bar is set high as Brian Deegan and the boys attempt to step up to the podium. X Games 14. Coverage continues tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
We're at the halfway point of the pre-Olympic tour, just about. The United States nearing halftime here in Game 3 of 5, up 45-27 over Lithuania. And you take a look at the men in green. They're trying to figure out this United States defense. And Robertus Yaptikis played his high school basketball in Akron, Ohio at St. Vincent, St. Mary's. And I can think of another guy. I think he plays for the United States. Didn't he play for that same high school?
A guy named L.James. And actually, they missed each other by 1 year. He's 4 years older than LeBron. LeBron was a freshman the next year. But he actually didn't play because of his international transfer status. He went to school there, only spent a brief time at Arizona, and then returned home to Lithuania.
Yaptikis was drafted by the San Antonio Spurs, 56th overall back in 2001, and what a move.
How about Siskauskis? Now, they call him the Baltic Scottie Pippen because he's one of the more versatile players in Europe, and you saw an example right there.
He won the EuroLeague MVP for 2007-2008, and you want to talk about a prestigious award. And he had 13 points in the championship game for CSKA Moscow as they beat Maccabi Tel Aviv. So another championship for Siskauskis, won the previous year with Panathinaikos.
One of the few players in EuroLeague history who's won back-to-back EuroLeague titles with two different teams. And Siskauskis, one of the other two gentlemen, a guy named Bodoroga, one of the all-time great players in Europe.
Yaptikis with the Mikan-esque hook.
Yaptikis, the property, as you mentioned, drafted by San Antonio back in 2002. But he's carved out a nice living for himself in Europe, playing for Dynamo Moscow.
Carmelo Anthony, he didn't hesitate on that one.
Carmelo's so fundamentally sound. His jump shot is so compact. With the lack of movement in that shot, it allows him to get it off very quickly.
Carmelo missed his first three, his first make. Gives the United States a 17-point lead. Feeding Yaptikis, he hooks it over Howard again, and they got a foul on Big Dwight. So Yaptikis says, they're talking about me. Well, go ahead and keep talking about me. 40-inch vertical leap back in his heyday. And at 6'11", combined with a 40-inch vertical, I'm not good with math, but that's good enough to dunk on a 12-foot rim.
Oh, that's pretty good. And we mentioned earlier, back in 2000, actually May 2001, he was involved in a very serious, 2002, excuse me, very serious motorcycle accident. And many people feared that he would never be able to walk again. He's obviously gotten healthy, bounced back, and we've seen some of that terrific athleticism today.
He won a EuroLeague championship in 2007 with Siskauskis with Panathinaikos. He was the MVP of the Uleb Cup back in 2005. And as you mentioned, currently playing for Dynamo Moscow, and he's just a fantastic EuroLeague player, consistently one of the league leaders in blocks and rebounding.
Well, what you love about these guys is even though they trail by 16, there's no fear factor. Look at that.
A one-and-done slam by K.Bryant off the sweet feed from D.Wade.
The unselfishness of this team, Mike Krzyzewski called it selfless service. Playing together.
And K.Bryant overzealous on his defense on Kalkanis. Kobe now with 11. What a jam this was. And we saw LeBron with a one and done, triggered by Kobe in yesterday's game.
Well, you can really tell, they embrace playing together. In fact, last week, I think, LeBron said at the practices in Vegas, we all dream, during the season, we all complain about, man, I wish we had a point guard, or I wish we had this guy. I wish I could play with this guy. They're embracing the fact that they're getting a chance to play with each other. Now, this is obviously some of the best. You talk about those 5 guys we mentioned, Carmelo and LeBron, Chris Paul, D.Wade, Kobe, Dwight Howard. These are some of the best players in the world. They're embracing that fact that they get a chance to play for a short period of time with each other.
And nobody's embraced him more than D.Wade, one of the... He's probably going to go down to what is the all-time greats, and he's the 6th man on this basketball team. Here is Chris Paul. That's right in his zone, but he missed. And what a rebound and tap out by Chris Bosh. LeBron lost the handle amazingly. Got it back. CP3 for 3. It's rebounded by Yapkis. He's been by far the best Lithuanian out here.
He's done a really good job. And you talked about his size. And these guys from Lithuania, they embrace playing against the best in the world. He had a big smile on his face earlier. And they don't want to be down 16 right now, but you're seeing a very game competitive group of guys. Siskauskas, Jasikevičius, very experienced players.
Yapkis. Oh, he lost the handle. It just slipped out like a bar of soap. Wade back for the U.S. Nice little crossover fake. Bounds into his man. No basket. That is an offensive foul.
Now that's the 3rd time in the 3 exhibition games that D.Wade has come down the lane like a freight train. And here he runs over Kaukanis. Maybe a little acting job, but the experience of Kaukanis.
Oh, and the glare from D.Wade.
You can't do that.
You didn't like that call at all.
You know what? He's not a superstar over here like he is in the NBA. In FIBA play, you'll see 3 or 4 things from referees every game that will make you scratch your head. And Mike Krzyzewski's talked to his team about playing through it. You cannot get frustrated. You don't get the superstar call over here.
Good defense right there by D.Wade to disrupt the drive by Kaukanis. LeBron spinning. Oh, and he can't score. D.Wade fighting down there for the rebound against 3 Lithuanians. And we have a jump ball. Mike Krzyzewski liking what he is seeing. What does he have to talk about at halftime? We're going to come back and talk to Fran about that.
My favorite time of year is coming. I've won the Duke Cup the last 3 straight years. And now, it's time to add the 4th to the collection. Come see me up close and personal at what I do best.
AST Duke Tour returns to Rose Quarter, August 22nd through the 24th. Tickets available at Rose Quarter box office or ComcastTix.com.
The TV doesn't do it justice at times. You need to be here in person.
Just under a minute to go in the first half. The United States by 16. And did you catch the X Games last night? Well, it's rolling on. X Games 14 continues Friday night on ESPN. Coverage kicks off with X Center at 8 Eastern. Then at 9 Eastern, watch Kevin Robinson attempt to three-peat as he defies gravity on the mega ramp during BMX Big Air. Then, during Moto X Step Up, will Brian Deegan step up to the podium? Or will Randy Carmichael live up to his nickname, the greatest of all time? X Games 14 on ESPN Friday night. For more information, log on to EXPN.com.
How about my man Danny Way? He took a spill last night. Hopefully he's okay. Probably got a few ice packs on that back of his.
Well, he's lucky he's not in the hospital. That looked very violent.
Yes, it did. See, zone defense by Lithuania has done a nice job of keeping Team USA on the perimeter.
Fran, before the end of the half here, tell me, what Coach K may be talking about in that locker room. Give me one like and one dislike from what you've seen in this first half.
I think the one thing they've done is they've pressured the ball very well, but the dislike just shows up right there. A few too many open looks, and you have to guard those guys out beyond the international line.
And coming up on the halftime report, an ESPN News update, what's going on around the world of sports, a look ahead to the United States against Russia in a couple of days, and highlights and analysis. It's all coming up on the halftime report.
Russia will be the next opponent, and they're led by Andrei Kirilenko of the Utah Jazz. Also have a point guard, J.R. Holden, who's a Bucknell graduate.
And Lithuania draws within 13, feeling okay about themselves. And M.Redd says, you left me open for a three. Can't get away with that.
That's where you got to have that versatility in your zone offense, be able to play both inside and out, and make sure you get your best shooters looks. Good example right there.
Yazidis looking for his shot. Just hit a three a moment ago. LeBron lost it. Comes to Yavdakis. Gets it to Yazidis. And Lithuania will set up. Go 2 for 1 here, Coach?
You want to do it smartly. When you go 2 for 1, you want to make sure you get a good look, but that point's moot right now.
Yes, it is.
The offensive foul. Sometimes when you go 2 for 1, I never liked it as a coach when the first shot is a bad shot. I'd rather get the first good look, but 2 for 1, a big part of NBA play. You see it in every quarter.
Is it as simple as being open in terms of that good shot?
Not necessarily. If you get the right guy a shot who's taking a semi-contested shot, you'll take a chance on that possession knowing you're going to get one more at the end of the quarter. But the zone, you see the 2-3 zone, and we mentioned this right from the first exhibition game. They are going to see a variety of looks in Olympic play.
Chris Paul did get it through to Bosch. Oh, and Bosch miraculously throws it in. And I heard a tweet, get Bosch to the line.
Well, you like that because Bosch makes a terrific play. You don't like the fact that Chris Paul feeds him in traffic with 4 guys. Bosch makes chicken soup out of this right here.
And that's a nice gather by Chris Bosch. And look at this. He is hammered, and he hits it anyway. Petrovicius with the foul. Did they give Chris Paul an assist on this?
Oh, yeah.
Why not? It's new rules. Oscar Robertson somewhere saying, hey, they didn't give me the assist on that way back in my day.
It's not all fun and games when you're a mascot. Every year I find myself where the season always ends meets the bills never stop.
You know that place where you realize even a squirrel can't live off peanuts? Well, maybe you don't, but believe me, I'm there.
Here's a way to score on savings.
Nice.
Switch your car insurance to State Farm. You'll save big, plus get a payment plan that fits your budget. Call, click, or visit and start saving today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You know I wear this everywhere.
Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and the rest of the squad representing the red, white, and blue have 2 more pre-Olympic tune-up games coming up on ESPN2. First, Sunday morning at 3 a.m. Eastern, the United States takes on Russia. Then, Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern, the USA faces Australia in their last game before the Beijing Olympics. USA basketball pre-Olympic games on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
I mentioned J.R. Holden, who played his basketball at Bucknell and now plays in Russia, and he has a Russian passport, even though he's still an American citizen. He leads Russia from the point.
And are the Americans into it or what? They're up by 19, closing seconds of the first half. They hear a tweet against them, and they erupt on the bench, and Chris Paul did get him.
Well, and they tried to pressure Kaukanis and Jasikevičius this whole first half and have been pretty successful at doing so. But right there, Chris Paul with the bailout foul.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kaukanis hits the first.
Little controversy on the women's side because Becky Hammond, who's one of WNBA's great point guards, is also going to play for Russia and run their point. So she did not get invited to the U.S. Olympic trials, and she decided to go play where she plays during the winter with the Russians.
LeBron James into Chris Paul. 2 seconds left. Now 1 second left, and LeBron James traveled with the basketball. A turnover to end the first half, and good news for Lithuania that he did take steps because that ball went in. The United States, a strong start defensively, and they lead at the half 56-39. When we come back, it's the halftime report here on ESPN2. Please stick around.
Where can you find me? At the intersection of my new life and my new lifestyle. Driving.
Wheatgrass?
Yeah, have a sip.
Change the scenery? A State Farm agent will be there to help you get the right coverage at a great price.
You know that place where there's never a rain delay? I am so there.
Call, click, or visit and start saving today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What's this? It's wheatgrass. So what do you think of my screenplay?
$532, $533, $530.
Crazy times call for crazy fun. Enter the ultimate Vegas escape sweepstakes at visitlasvegas.com.
When you're the greatest golfer on earth, what's next?
New Gatorade Tiger with 25% more electrolytes. It's in Tiger Woods. Is it in you?
What does Pocono mean? It means the race to the chase has begun. It means love and hate and the infamous tunnel turn. It means watching out for Denny and never counting out Jimmy. It means the most important triangle in racing. It means the first green flag dropping in the race to the chase and making a statement that can't be ignored. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series on ESPN. Coverage begins Sunday at 1 Eastern at Pocono. Presented by Cheez-It.
Hello, everyone. We are at halftime between Team USA and Lithuania. I'm Mark Morgan with his update. The big news on Thursday, 2 blockbuster baseball trades sending 2 future Hall of Famers to new teams. Manny Ramirez will be wearing Dodger blue. Ramirez, part of a 3-team deal that brings Pittsburgh outfielder Jason Bay to Boston and sends Manny to L.A. Manny has wanted to be traded for years, and earlier this week he said, "The Red Sox don't deserve a player like me." Dodgers GM Ned Colletti said the team expects Ramirez to be in the lineup Friday against the Diamondbacks. Here are the particulars. The Sox send Manny west to the Dodgers. Bay lands in Beantown. And the Pirates receive 4 prospects, most notably third baseman Andy LaRoche and outfielder Brandon Moss. In L.A., Manny will encounter at least one familiar face, current Dodgers and former Yankees manager Joe Torre.
You know, yeah, you want to help your club, but you want to make sure that, you know, you don't, as you say, mortgage your future. And I think this deal enabled us to help our club in a big way. In a big way. I mean, Manny's, you know, one of the best handful of hitters in this game. And I think there's any question about that. And the fact that we were able to get him here and not disrupt our big league club.
Manny's, you know, it doesn't matter what lineup that's out there. Even some of the best lineups in baseball right now, you put Manny Ramirez in that lineup, he's just going to help him. That's because the type of player he is, the type of hitter he is, he's going to help any lineup. So, you know, it's good that we have him because he's going to definitely help our lineup. For us to sit back and say, okay, it's all on his shoulders is wrong. It's unfair to him, and it's a shame on us if we do that because we still got to go out there and continue doing what we're doing to be in that position to get to the playoffs and win the division.
As I say, Manny can hit, and you know, from my understanding, he's pretty excited about coming this way. I left him a message. I haven't talked to him yet.
Ken Griffey Jr. is leaving home in hopes of chasing a pennant. On Thursday, Jr. agreed to a trade that sends him to the White Sox. Griffey, a lock Hall of Famer, hit his 600th home run earlier this season, but hasn't played in the postseason since 1997 as a Mariner. Griffey leads all active players in hits, home runs, and RBI. In fact, his next round tripper will tie him with Sammy Sosa for 5th on the career list. While Brett Favre awaits reinstatement from the NFL, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports that Packers officials have discussed trading Favre within the division to either the Vikings or Bears. Also, ESPN's Wendy Nix reports that Favre is actively considering a merchandising and marketing deal that would keep him in retirement. Favre contacted ESPN's Ed Werder with his thoughts on the situation. Now, on Packers president Mark Murphy's proposal to end the standoff with a paid non-playing role, Favre told Werder via text message, "There isn't a perfect solution to this, but Mark Murphy is at least trying. We know what they want and where I stand. His solution, although awkward and unsettling for most, may be the best in the end." But Favre also messaged, "My intentions have been to play and with Green Bay. They say no, so I still want to play in this division for obvious reasons, which I made clear to management. If they won't let me play in Green Bay, let me play against you. That's where I am." Here's the remainder of Team USA's exhibition schedule. Both games can be seen on ESPN2. Up next, we take you back to the second half of Team USA against Lithuania.
While filming a movie, 3 of Hollywood's biggest stars were kidnapped.
You should have got Oscar. Thank you. That's, you know, I mean, even... Shut up now!
Now they'll have to stop acting and start fighting back. Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr. Tropic Thunder.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Rated R, August 13th. summer. The World Series of Poker is all new. Watch the game's brightest stars and biggest dreamers every Tuesday night as they battle for the highest stakes and the most coveted jewel in the game. From the bracelet events to the final table, it all goes down on poker's biggest stage, where yesterday's ordinary Joe might just become tomorrow's millionaire. The World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, Tuesdays at 8 on ESPN.
My favorite time of year is coming. I've won the Duke Cup the last 3 straight years. And now, it's time to add the 4th to the collection. Come see me up close and personal at what I do best.
AST Dew Tour returns to Rose Quarter, August 22nd through the 24th. Tickets available at Rose Quarter box office or ComcastTix.com.
The TV doesn't do it justice at times. You need to be here in person.
Did you know that Comcast's superior TV, internet, and home phone service are backed by 1,800 local employees who provide customer support 24/7? That also includes flexible service and installation appointments, even on weekends. Comcast has a call center right here in Beaverton, 8 field offices, and 15 customer service centers. From Southwest Washington to Eugene, there's bound to be one near you. Local customer service is just one of the many ways Comcast brings value to your community.
Time now for today's Gatorade Cooler Talk. Rick Hamler, Fran Fraschilla here at the half, and we're previewing the game upcoming against Russia with a look back to 2002 at the World Championships, and it was a victory for the USA.
And sadly, one of the few highlights of a tournament for Team USA where they finished 6th. So Russia, obviously a team that has some good players right now. We talked about Andrei Kirilenko, Victor Harapa, who's played for the Chicago Bulls, but a highlight nevertheless back in Olympics.
And coming up, the United States will play Russia August 3rd at 3 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Then they wrap it up against Australia August 5th at 8 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Back with more halftime highlights and analysis in a moment.
ESPN's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by Gatorade. It's in USA Basketball. Is it in you? And the Nike Hyper Dunk.
How you feel about Devontae now?
Devontae?
Yeah.
Damn. It's a shame. If he couldn't handle those kids, he can't handle this. Did you see how he got dunked on? That little boy broke his ankles. I can't be taking care of no man's ankles for the rest of my life. That's not my job. That's not what I do. It's a shame, but it is what it is, like I said.
Yeah, man. He was running bums off the court. How we do. When all of a sudden these 3 little kids came up all rocking the same black sneakers, right? We was gonna send them home barefoot and boo-hooing.
Let's go, breast milk. Let's go. Let's get it.
And they wasn't having that. I'm talking about preschoolers had us looking like fantastic scrubs. They running around my court like they just got out for recess, scoring from half court, dancing for my girl. And they dropping buckets on me, man. Seriously. We were still in it, though. I'm setting my teammates up for the win. And out of nowhere, this little crumb snatcher comes steal my pass, man. So I ain't gonna let this go down, so I'm gonna stuff him. I'm gonna play defense. And I'll get down to steal the ball. And he used me. He used me like a step. He dumped right on my neck, man. So the next day, went to the barbershop, you know, to get my fresh shape up how I do. Cracked the door, and here it comes.
What's up, stepladder?
How's your neck?
Hey, yo, you still giving out piggyback? Hold on, baby. I thought your game was tight.
Not as tight as those jeans.
That's your stepson?
Oh, little baby.
You want to watch some cartoons while you wait? Step ladder. Oh, you dunked on Scram, Sam. What's up with your man? I ain't been back to the court or the barbershop since then. And I know she out there with somebody with a fresh cut right now because she love them dudes with fresh cuts. That's why I always get my fresh cut.
And you know, he ain't never got me into a hot club or nothing. But Shorty in the black, I let him take me out, buy me some shrimp or something.
If you need individual hoop healing, call us now at 877-DUNKED-ON.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, otherwise distributed, or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Welcome back to the Cotai Arena here at the Venetian in Macau, China. We're at the half, 56-39. The United States leads Lithuania with the second half forthcoming, and it's time now to take a look at the Nike first half highlights, most of them authored by that man.
Well, you love the unselfishness, and that's been a staple so far through 3 games. Nobody really cares who scores, and on the defensive end as well. Some good weak side help, even though Lithuania started to get it going a little bit. But this is what you love right here. You know, every game you're going to see 2 or 3 of these because of the terrific athleticism of this team and also the selfless play of this group.
And the McDonald's game track, we take a look at the field goals. Lithuania not shooting horribly, 45%. The United States at 56%.
Yeah, Lithuania started to come on. You see the assists. United States 18 assists on 22 field goals. That's outstanding. And how about this guy? I mentioned you don't have to run any plays for him. He just needs to stay alert, have his hands ready near the rim, and someone is going to find him.
D.Howard, 15 points here at the half. He had 14 points in the game against Turkey yesterday. And Dwight is warming to the occasion. That is the Beijing Olympics coming up in a week or so, because he had only 6 points and 7 rebounds in that first exhibition game against Canada in Las Vegas. And what is Coach K telling Dwight right here, do you think?
Well, you know, I think the big thing is continue to shape up big inside, because the more he becomes a factor in the lane, the more he becomes a threat for the opponents as they get to Beijing. And that makes your perimeter game so much better, because basketball is about yin and yang of the perimeter and the paint. And the easier you get it into the lane, the more defense has to collapse. And then all of a sudden, you're looking at LeBron James, K.Bryant, D.Wade getting even easier looks.
We're here in China, and obviously Yao Ming is the face of China in a variety of ways, and also the face of the Houston Rockets. Who's the better center right now, D.Howard or Yao Ming?
Boy, that's a great question. Obviously, long-term, I'm going to take D.Howard. Yao Ming, the big factor with Yao is, can he play 82 games? Can he stay healthy? I would take D.Howard simply because right now, you know, you can count on him to play night in, night out.
Great point. He has never missed a game in his NBA career. Lithuania with the first shot, and it's missed by Jasikevičius. And he picks up where he left off in the first half. Good hustle right there by Petrovicius.
Now, we've seen this now. Sometimes there's been a letdown in terms of rebounding.
And we have not seen enough of him. Krzysztof Lavrinovičius.
Well, this is a guy that had some legal issues earlier in his career. Otherwise, he'd likely be playing in the NBA right now.
They say he would have been drafted had he not fallen into trouble. And as it is, he is a fantastic player. Second team all EuroLeague this past season, 13 points per game, and helped Montepaschi Siena make it all the way to the EuroLeague Final Four.
Absolutely. A team that had Terrell McIntyre, who played for Clemson, Bootsy Thornton, who I coached at St. John's, who turned out to be a terrific European player.
Your boy Bootsy was second team all EuroLeague. He had a great year.
A perfect example of a guy that rather than be the 11th or 12th man on an NBA roster, he makes about $1 million a year in Europe.
Not bad.
Now, this is a concern. We talked about how good a shooting team this is, and you don't want to lose your focus. And Coach Boutatis has stayed in the 2-3 zone since halfway through the first half, and they've creeped back into this game.
Under 10 on the shot clock. LeBron James for 3, and you can't leave him wide open.
Now, that's not a normal NBA 3. That's what you'd call a mid-range jump shot for LeBron James, something he's reasonably proficient at.
United States by 14, make it 11. That is Kalkanis from deep.
They switched out. Howard had Kalkanis, and Howard just didn't give him enough respect on the jump shot. You got to crowd him, make him a driver.
Kobe stepping through. Nice find to Carmelo Anthony, and in traffic he scores.
As good a pass as that was, how about how Carmelo always finds the opening in the defense? See Kobe, the defensive stopper now.
He went under the screen, though. Jasikevicius just could not hit that three. He wanted a foul call.
That's a good point. Kobe did a really good job in the first half of not allowing Saris to use the screen. That time he got the look because Kobe needed to fight through it.
Out of bounds off of the U.S. and the referee's like, yo, one of you Lithuanian guys needs to come take the ball out of bounds. Here's Kalkanis.
Oh, yeah.
Nice feed underneath, and that is Petrovicius being fouled from behind. How did he slither that one through?
Well, simply put, if you're going to let them run pick and roll at the high post, you're going to create some indecision on the part of the defense. Take a look right here. You see Howard stays. Kid doesn't get back quickly, and then no rotation from the backside. K.Bryant needs to be in the paint.
Marionis Petrovicius hits the first free throw. Lithuania within 12.
This is a guy that really didn't have a huge impact at South Carolina, where he played for Dave Odom. A good player, but has really, really improved as he's come back to Europe and played in the EuroLeague. This is good for Team USA. Get a chance to play a lot against the 2-3 zone.
Kobe to Kidd to Carmelo. Good hustle right there by K.Bryant. Threw it in off the back of the backboard, so it'll go to Lithuania. They trail by 12. They're hanging around, Fran.
Well, you know, Rick, it's about law of averages right now because the zone is going to force Team USA to make some shots.
Jasikevicius makes a shot, and Lithuania now into single digits. They trail only by 9, and they're quicker to loose balls right now than the United States.
Well, they really are. You're talking about a very, very experienced, competitive group. And when you don't turn them over in terms of the ball pressure and allow them to get open looks, they make these shots like it's a drink of water.
I want to talk about some of the Lithuanians not here. Macijauskas, one of the best shooters in Europe, spent a year with the Hornets. You have Darius Singaila. He's got a back injury. He may or may not be added to the Olympic roster. And then you have Zydrunas Ilgauskas as Carmelo Anthony gets an and one. Big Z was not allowed to play here by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's on the wrong side of 30. He's had health issues in the past. What is your thought about the Cavs and their decision to disallow Big Z playing here?
Well, keep in mind, it goes beyond that because Big Z has never really been a part of the national team. The last time he played for Lithuania was back in 1995. Injuries are a big factor, and now the fact that you get injured early in your career, and if you're the Cavs, you want him to stay healthy because for them, it's about an investment. They pay him a lot of money. They want to see him healthy. A guy like Nowitzki, Mark Cuban, constantly complaining about Dirk playing for Germany, and oftentimes the insurance policy is such that a player like Big Z can't afford really to take a chance.
And an and one for Lithuania, and again it's Petrovicius.
And again it's pick and roll defense at the high post, and some sort of, this is the same type of, I hate to remind you, same type of confusion we saw back in 2006. This normally hasn't been a problem through 3 exhibition games, but you can see there's heavy-duty discussion going on right now because, as I've mentioned a couple times, Rick, pick-and-roll offense is about creating indecision on the part of the man guarding the ball and the man guarding the screener, and that's what we have right now.
And what we have is a ball game.
Absolutely.
This looked like a runaway in the first half, and Petrovicius misses the free throw, so Lithuania within 10.
It's a very good test for Team USA because now you're also having to see them attack a 2-3 zone in a real serious defense.
Nice look away. LeBron to Melo and the mash from D.Howard.
Anytime you get the ball in the middle of the paint versus a zone, you're going to create something good for your team.
Turnover. K.Bryant up with it. Kidd to Carmelo Anthony. He collects himself. The extra pass to LeBron James, and he hangs around for a while.
We mentioned if you get the steal and you get the pressure and you don't allow Lithuania to run their offense, you're going to get an opportunity to get the turnover and the run out.
Lithuania wants time. 6:03 to go in the third. The United States by 14.
To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. Big Mac. Pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Big Mac. To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. Mac. Pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
Big Mac. You so want one.
You know, it's not all fun and games when you're a mascot. Every year I find myself where the season always ends meets the bills never stop. You know that place where you realize even a squirrel can't live off peanuts? Well, maybe you don't, but believe me, I'm there.
Here's a way to score on savings.
Nice.
Switch your car insurance to State Farm. You'll save big, plus get a payment plan that fits your budget. Call, click, or visit and start saving today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You know I wear this everywhere.
We have all been saddened by the news of the recent earthquake in China.
I just want to let you know that we are here to help you get through this tragic disaster. Remember,
we stand with you.
We will stand with you.
And we are ready to help. We do our best to help you through this disaster.
What does Pocono mean? It means the most important triangle in racing, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series on ESPN. Coverage begins Sunday at 1 Eastern at Pocono.
The United States has lost 5 games in the history of their Olympic basketball play, one of them in 2004 to Lithuania.
Well, and this man, Sauras Jasikevičius, 28 points. He knocked down 7 threes en route to what was a huge upset.
And in the bronze medal game, the United States exacted their revenge, but this was an Olympics to forget for the United States. We mentioned 5 losses all time. 3 of them came in this Olympics.
Oh, absolutely. That was a team that really was, while even D.Wade said very talented, probably not constructed for team basketball. There's the pressure again. You see Kobe gets it started.
And it's Kobe to LeBron for another mega blast.
This is what I talk about, feast or famine. When Lithuania can handle the ball and run their offense, they're fine. Kobe says, no, you know what? We're going to have none of this now.
And for Lithuania, 12 of their 15 points in the third have come on 4 3-pointers. And you're right, when they don't turn it over, when they get into their set and move it around a little bit, they're a very efficient offensive team. And look at the 3-point shooting in the third quarter.
See, there was very heavy discussion in that last timeout about the pick-and-roll defense and the fact that it's causing some breakdowns in coverage, because if you worry about the guy rolling to the basket and someone helps from the weak side, guess what? There's a shooter over there that, by the way, can knock down the 3.
United States by 16, and a conference at the scorers table.
Oh yeah, this is FIBA play here. There's always going to be a few calls that you're going to scratch your head about. Something will happen at the scorers table as well, or the timer.
X Games 14 continues Friday night on ESPN. Coverage kicks off with X Center at 8 Eastern. Then at 9 Eastern, watch Kevin Robinson attempt a three-peat as he defies gravity on the mega ramp during BMX Big Air. Then during Moto X Step Up, will Brian Deegan step up to the podium, or will Ricky Carmichael live up to his nickname, the greatest of all time? X Games 14 on ESPN Friday night. For more information, all you have to do is log on to ESPN.com.
I want to send our best to Danny Way, who took a hard spill last night. Hopefully he's going to bounce back, so to speak.
Those dudes are tough and fearless, and you know he'll be back. Well, you don't know he'll be back, but you know, these guys play with pain all the time. So do these players. There are warriors in more sports than just basketball and football.
There's no question about it. They take a look at this ball movement now versus the zone.
Oh, Carmelo Anthony just found it. It's like a quarter on the sidewalk, picked it up and put it in.
We mentioned he's always in the right spot at the right time. Look at this now. Now, Jason Kidd is going to get a piece of Kalkanis, and Kalkanis brought the ball up that time.
Kidd to K.Bryant. No look to Carmelo. Tried to finger roll it home, but he is called, rather, Lithuania is called for a foul on Carmelo, and Sarah says, you got to be kidding me.
You're talking about one of the more emotional guys. Take a look. A good dime dropped here by Kobe. And Jasikevic is one of the more competitive guys you'll find. In fact, he plays, you know, if you know about the Euro League, the thing about Jasikevic is he plays off his own emotion, both at home and on the road. He's one of those guys, if he's not on your team, you hate him.
Like Lenny Dykstra? But, I mean,
it's a good example.
He was, because I loved him as a Met. I was a Met fan growing up, and I hated him when he went to the Phillies.
Yeah, you're dropping a Lenny Dykstra on me here.
He's one of my favorite players growing up. Nails Dykstra. John Barry was one of those players.
Absolutely. A guy that gets under your skin. You don't like him. You don't like him as a fan if he's on the opposition's team. But when he gets traded to your team, you know, you love the energy and the competitiveness. You see what they're doing now. They're forcing other people to bring the ball up. There's a double team.
Kidd, one of the all-time leaders in steals, gets it up ahead to Carmelo. Oh, and it's out of bounds off of K.Bryant. Now, was he thinking before he got the ball?
This is the one issue you have sometimes when you have so many scorers that want to play together, is you pass up your own scoring opportunities. If Carmelo were playing in an NBA game right now, he's going to the rim for the N1. And because they do play so selfishly, you're going to have some spotty play because people are going to overpass.
LeBron fouls Jasikevic just from behind. And this reminder to log on to NBAstore.com right now for the best selection of USA basketball gear. It's NBAstore.com. You want one of those fancy red USA basketball shirts? NBAstore.com will hook you up.
Yeah, my son in Las Vegas last week did pretty well with the USA gear, I might add. Much to the chagrin of my wife and I.
So it wasn't swag?
No, it was not. No, it was retail, my friend.
So France's bank account dwindling as we speak. Hey, since Lithuania cut the lead to 10, the United States has gone on a 9-1 run, keyed, of course, by their defense.
But see, you need to be solid right here. No, don't take many gambles. Just, there you go. Just be solid.
What's Kobe got for us? Oh, he's a former slam dunk champ, and he broke us off something.
See, if I'm Team USA right now, the next 4 minutes, I don't try to gamble. I stay in front of my man. I contest three-point shots, and we just play smart ball.
They have a foul? That looked like an errant pass. They're staying at this end of the floor.
Well, this is where you got to keep your composure, because it does not matter in a 20-point game. But when you get to the semifinals against somebody like Spain, and there's a call that you don't like, you cannot show emotion. You cannot let it affect your game. We've seen that happen so many times for Team USA in international play.
Even if it's the worst call of all time, just going to put your head down and keep playing.
Got to keep playing through it. You got to deal with adversity.
Deron Williams in for the U.S. and Lithuania. We talked, yesterday in the game against Turkey that Turkey is the host country for the 2010 World Championship. Lithuania, coincidentally enough, is the host country for the 2011 Eurobasket tournament. And that will be a grand scene in Lithuania, one of the countries in Europe that loves basketball more than any other.
Well, you're so right, Rick. I compare Lithuania to like Indiana. There's only 3.4 million people in the country, and they play per capita maybe as good a basketball as there is maybe outside of a team like Team USA. 3.4 million people, and you have the level of play they've had through the years is remarkable.
And 3.2 million of them love basketball, right?
No question about it.
Jasikevic just fumbled that one out of bounds, Ernest Biner style. You like that old school reference?
Cleveland Browns. I want to drop a name on you here. Donatas Montejūnas, who's an 18-year-old, 7-foot Lithuanian player, is going to be an NBA player someday.
LeBron James is an NBA player today, and he just took a great pass from Deron Williams, deposited it in, +1.
Well, what you like about that is they're in the zone, right? And now when you get the ball to the paint, against the zone, you're going to get shots like this. You get the ball to the high paint, it forces the defense to collapse on you, and you can sneak a guy. Hard to think you can sneak a guy like LeBron, as big as he is, behind the defense, but that's exactly what they did right there.
LeBron can't complete the three-point play, but it's not like with this U.S. team you can focus on one guy. Like when you're playing the Cavs, you put 3 dudes on LeBron James. Here, all 5 guys can murder you.
No, that's exactly right, and that's why these guys embrace the fact that they're playing with such guys that are as talented as they are.
Lithuania's gone ice cold. Chris Paul to Darren Williams, and he lost it. And now Lithuania has a 3-on-1. Pretty ball fake right there, but he missed the layup, and Swiatek just missed it. And they want a goaltend. I don't know if they're going to get it. That was Mashulis right there, begging for the call.
Well, Chris Paul broke up a 3-on-1 break. You love that. Take a look now. He fakes, and he throws Lukaskis off. And right now you're seeing some of Lithuania's younger players. Machulis, one of the top young guys they have.
So is that man, Yazaitis.
Yep, Yazaitis, only 25 years old. You know, you talk about 2011 in Lithuania, and the likelihood is some of these guys who've represented Lithuania so well, Jasikevičius, Sangala, obviously Ilgauskas, will not likely be a part of that run. But there you see a great look at that 2-3 zone, which Coach Boutatis has stayed in for much of this game.
Wade left alone, and he puts it in.
Well, this is a team that's much more constructed for zone defense than the teams we've seen in 04 and 02.
Wade says hello to those lucky souls sitting at the scorer's table. Soars over them.
How about the Cotai Arena? That's actually in the Venetian Hotel.
How about that?
This is a 15,000 seat arena inside an incredible hotel complex.
And for those who don't understand, and we really don't either, Fran, calling this game from the U.S., but the strip in Macau of hotels and casinos is modeled after Las Vegas, and it's in fact bigger than Las Vegas. And amongst, you know, the landscape or the horizon rather of all the casinos and hotels, you see cranes everywhere. The construction is going nuts over here in Macau.
Well, you're right. In fact, Chris Bosh talked about the fact that there's so much to do, but yet in their hotel they can't possibly see everything in their hotel. It's so large. So, but I think the focus obviously has been on basketball, and rightfully so. These guys will be together only, hopefully, about 24 more days.
August 24th. That is the day of the gold medal game. And the United States of America hopes to be in that game, and they hope to win that game. Here is Darren Williams, and one.
Terrific play. And what's important about that, Rick, is attacking the zone with the drive. And that's the second play. That watch how good a job he goes, not only getting into the zone, but we talked about his size and strength in the past. International play, more physical than NBA play because they allow a little more bumping and grinding on the perimeter, and Williams has the strength to be able to handle that.
It's almost impossible to believe that Darren Williams has not been an All-Star yet. Obviously, that will come to an end very, very soon, probably as early as the 2009 All-Star game in Phoenix. And Lithuania just can't buy a bucket. They trail by 22. D.Wade with a full head of steam, and you better stop ball because D.Wade's going to pack it on your skull. They knock it out of bounds. 19 on the shot clock for the United States. And as we watch Lithuania here, you can't help but think back to those great teams of the 90s as D.Wade missed the reverse layup of Arvydas Sabonis, Sarunas Marciulionis, and those were fantastic teams and a couple of very good NBA players.
Well, and they were really part of, you remember, we mentioned earlier, Sabonis part of the Soviet Union, the great team, you know, obviously Saras, Marciulionis as well. And we talked about this off air. Arvydas Sabonis, who played later in his career for the Portland Trail Blazers, one of the great centers of all time in the history of basketball. In fact, Bill Walton, among the top 5 or 6, called Sabonis the greatest passing center of all time. And that's high praise coming from a guy like Bill Walton. We never saw him in his prime. That's the great thing about YouTube. Go on and get some of those highlights of Arvydas Sabonis. And really a magnificent player, as was Marciulionis. And Kurtinaitis, the assistant coach of this Lithuanian team, one of the great shooters in Olympic history.
What I remember of Sabonis was, playing that high post offense, and he would hold the ball with one hand and wait, and shovel it underhanded right on the money. He would hit it to a spot. The player would be there for the layup. I mean, what an amazing passer he was.
Well, hold the ball like a grapefruit, you mean.
D.Wade, he hangs around for a little while, and the United States put on a highlight show here in the third.
Well, there should be more showtime because Lithuania has gone to the younger group. But what you want from your team right now, if you're Mike Krzyzewski, is 11 more minutes of focus. Don't give up any open looks. Pressure the ball, make sure you rebound, and just play smart on the offensive end.
D.Wade triggers. In and out and back in. And D.Wade, 5 quick points.
Excellent. Good ball movement. Get the open man. And just be solid right now.
Wade has 12. The lead, 26. We're under a minute to go in the third quarter.
I always talked about as a coach, you don't need to hit home runs now. Just hit singles. Be solid. Be fundamental.
Joptikis into the corner, and that ball knocked down by Mindaugas Luskauskis.
He's one of the veterans. He's played well of recent past. 29 years old.
About a second and a half different between the shot clock and the game clock. So the United States will wind it down. Under 10 on the shot clock for them. Darren Williams kicks to Tayshaun Prince. 4 on the shot clock. D.Wade recognizes, goes glass and hits again. He has 14, 7 quick points for him, and an injury for Lithuania.
I think he got his feeling. I think Maciulis got his feelings hurt more than anything right there.
0.5 of a second remaining. Not enough time to heave from that far away. D.Wade, it is good to have you back and healthy. He has been awesome in these pre-Olympic games for USA Basketball.
What does Pocono mean? It means the race to the chase has begun. It means love and hate and the most important triangle in racing. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series on ESPN. Coverage begins Sunday at 1 Eastern at Pocono.
On the next ESPN First Take, we'll break down baseball's trade deadline. Who were the biggest winners? Who were the biggest losers? Plus, we're casting the Brett Favre movie. You don't want to miss this. ESPN First Take, 10 a.m. Eastern, ESPN 2.
I may be in my pajamas right now, but I'm not going to bed. I'm going to college online to get a degree. Education Connection will connect you to the right online college for free. And log on now, and Education Connection will send you their free success kit stuffed with information on online schools, scholarships, even degrees that take the least amount of time. This is a $100 value, and it's yours free.
Log on now to 55edconnect.com. That's 55edconnect.com.
Comcastic Labs high-speed internet field test. Introduction of Power Boost. We never stop making fast faster. Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost.
Welcome back to Macau, China. The last quarter here in Macau. This is XC3 for the United States Olympic team. Games 4 and 5 will come up in Shanghai in a couple of days. And a look at the groupings for the Olympic Games coming up in a week or so. Group A looks like that. Group B finds the United States with China, Germany, Greece, and Spain. That is a heavyweight division.
It really is. You got Yao Ming and China, although they are depleted right now, some injuries. Germany with Nowitzki and Chris Kaman. And then, to me, the three best teams in the world at the moment, Greece, Spain, and the United States. So Team USA will get tested in Group B, obviously. And we talked about that should help them prepare for the medal round.
And no offense to those in Group A, but Lithuania looks like they will be moving on to the medal round. This is a very strong team. I know they're getting walloped here by 25, but these are the Americans, and they are playing very good basketball. This has been their most complete game in these exhibitions so far. Darren Williams takes it strong right at Petrovicius, draws the foul.
Well, when you think about it, really, there's nobody in this field that can pressure the ball defensively and cause havoc to Lithuania like Team USA can. So do not be surprised that this team goes very, very far, actually, because their one Achilles heel is handling the basketball.
D.Wade is absolutely ablaze right now. You don't even want to touch him. You'll get singed.
Well, these are all mid-range jumpers for Team USA. And you have to really admire what Jerry Colangelo has done, because not only is the chemistry good, and not only have they taken a little heat for not having enough big guys, but they have guys on the perimeter that can score inside and out.
Williams was looking for Wade, takes it himself, and one. So another and one for Darren Williams, and that ends a streak of 9 straight points for D.Wade.
And you think about Darren Williams, we talked about this. Jason Kidd at 35, the oldest member of the team. Yes, he's 38-0 in international play, but Darren Williams has that prototype game for an international player because he is physical enough to be able to get anywhere he wants on the basketball court. And obviously, he's a great decision maker as well.
Tayshaun Prince said, why not? And he missed it. The United States 4 points away from 100 here early in the fourth quarter. This is Kauskas. Nice feed down low, but Petrovicius wasn't looking. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay right here. 12 on the shot clock for Lithuania.
One of the things that's helped Mike Krzyzewski and his staff is that they'll get a chance to look at the video and see a lot of zone defense and they've done a good job, obviously, of moving the ball, but where their weaknesses are, what they have to improve on, because as he has mentioned many times, this is just training camp right now.
That was a brilliant dime by Jasikevicius. It hit the rim, so a new shot clock. It is put in by Linas Kleiza, and then a backcourt steal by Lithuania. That was Lukauskas. Lithuania trails by 25. Lukauskas back with it on the other side. Kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Lithuania. 12 on the shot clock.
If you know anything about coaches, you know you really don't want to think about the score right now if you're Mike Krzyzewski and Coach Butatis as well. You just want execution and you want to improve.
The Denver Nugget update. Carmelo has 11. Kleiza has 4. Neither has played that great here today. D.Wade, Chris Paul on a 2-on-1. Wade gave it to Paul so he could do that. Another windmill from D.Wade, and the pass from Paul was awesome.
Well, the highlights are phenomenal, and you just have to love it. All is keyed by just unbelievable unselfishness on the part of this group.
That was a windmill on an alley-oop. I don't even know if I'd seen that.
That was a double windmill.
It's incredible, I'll tell you that. D.Wade in full effect in Vegas, here in Macau, and I suspect he'll keep it rolling in Shanghai. And Linas Kleiza has earned himself a couple of free throws.
One of the things you see professional players do so well at the FIBA level and the NBA level is they recognize mismatches. That time Kleiza had Chris Paul buried in the lane and made Chris Paul disappear. Good recognition as he got the ball inside, went to work.
Fran, off the air, you told me that Lithuania is the reason that the United States went to NBA players. Would you care to explain that?
Well, in 1988, the Soviet Union team that beat Team USA, John Thompson's club, there was a sense after that it was time to have professional players play, because the rest of the world was basically using professional players. And the large part of that Soviet Union team we've already mentioned, you know, the guys like Sabonis and Marshallonis, Kurtinitis. When that happened, FIBA decided in 1989 to make everybody available to play in the Olympics, including the NBA players. And that really was the germination, if you will, of the Dream Team in 1992. And because of the Dream Team and the impression they made on the rest of the world basketball-wise, we have seen an explosion of basketball and improvement among international players, and that's been evident the last 10 years or so.
Chris Paul with a dazzling move, feeds Prince. And Boozer, the only guy yet to touch it on this offensive possession. He sets a screen, Redd free. Redd hits.
See, when you're Michael Redd right now, you don't really even have to bend your knees. That becomes a wrist shot. That is a classic mid-range jumper for a guy who has obviously deep NBA range.
Redd has 3 threes, 9 points. Yaptakis puts it in. He has been ultra quiet since a noisy first quarter.
Now that's pick and roll defense again, so there are some things that you'll be able to go in the film room on and go to school on. But this guy, how about the strength and the ability to get into the heart of the zone defense, handle the contact. Look at that, he's just shooing guys off and then finishes at the rim.
They have not yet given him credit for the basket. I don't think they will, or I don't think they have. They have not, but in the NBA, that's an and one.
Yeah. And really, the rule is if you're in the act of shooting, and you don't have to have the ball over your head, you just have to be in the normal act of shooting. In my opinion right there, that basket should have counted. You can drop the ball to your ankles as long as you're in the act of shooting.
Redd has 4 threes, and the United States has 104 points.
Now, he's always in the act of shooting.
He had 6 of 8 from 3 in the game in Vegas against Canada. Nice pass to the corner, Siskauskas.
Yeah, see, that's just great ball movement, and that's just poor transition defense right there.
Siskauskas with 13. Double point guard look for the U.S. with Chris Paul, and this man, Darren Williams, scooting to the hoop, and he scores. They didn't foul him that time.
Now, the one thing that you're finding out if you're the USA coaching staff, when we see zone in Beijing, we have a guy, not necessarily from the perimeter, but we have a guy that can attack this defense off the dribble.
I believe Yaptakis just tried a no-look pass, and probably not the best idea. Definitely not a good result for Lithuania. Just over 5 minutes to go. The United States right where they want to be, well in front, 106-78. Boozer, nice pass to Tayshaun Prince. He was rejected by Lavrinovic, and Lavrinovic gets the rebound. Jasikevicius misses with that shot. Played with Indiana and Golden State in the NBA.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that,
Michael Redd was going for number 5.
Yeah, the problem with Jasikevicius in the NBA is he's really not a 1. He's not quick enough to be a 1, and he's not big enough to be a 2, as evidenced by the contested shot right there.
And Michael Redd jamming the jam as...
That will not be a Sports Center highlight.
And you know, these guys are going to give him a hard time. Did you just dunk the ball? I thought we got you to hit threes.
But he didn't jump over to Macau phone book.
They're good.
Best 7 out of 12?
Cramp.
I'd love to, but I can't.
24 Hour Fitness is a proud partner of the 2008 U.S. Olympic team and of everyday athletes everywhere.
Hey, you want to come to our barbecue this weekend?
Actually, I'll be in China.
You could have just said no.
The Americans have won the gold medal.
Standing up there, I'm hearing the national anthem play.
With a gold medal around your neck.
I just remember standing there thinking I don't want this moment to end.
I mean, there really isn't anything like it.
I was really living out exactly what I had dreamed.
I remember my coach yelling to me, Olympic champion.
Michael Phelps, swimming.
Alham, gymnastics.
Laura Wilkinson, diving. My coach just kept saying, we did it, we did it. Oh, we did it, the big it.
Where can you find me? At the intersection of my new life and my new lifestyle. Driving.
Wheatgrass?
Yeah, have a sip.
Change the scenery? A State Farm agent will be there to help you get the right coverage at a great price.
You know that place where there's never a rain delay? I am so there.
Call, click, or visit and start saving today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What's this? It's wheatgrass. So what do you think of my screenplay?
K.Bryant, LeBron James, D.Wade, and the rest of the squad representing the red, white, and blue. And you have 2 more pre-Olympic tune-up games coming up on ESPN2. Sunday morning at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, the United States takes on Russia. Then Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern, USA plays Australia. USA Basketball pre-Olympic games on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. So we're, entering games 4 and 5 of the exhibition schedule. Then, of course, the games in Beijing begin, and managing director Jerry Colangelo has said that this might be the defining moment of my career to win this gold medal. I know Coach K desperately wants to hang, a real meaningful gold medal around his neck. The Tournament of the Americas last year kind of counts, but I'm talking about World Championship and Olympic play, and Coach K does not have a gold in that regard, but Colangelo came in and really changed the culture of USA Basketball.
Well, he really did, and it needed to, quite honestly, because what he's done now is he not only has a great basketball team, and it's not going to be easy to win the gold, but this is a very classy group of guys, and the key has been to win with class. Not just win, but win with class. And the way this team has been constructed, both on and off the court, you have to credit Jerry Colangelo quite a bit.
And let's take a look at the schedule for the Olympics. And the first game for the United States will be August 10th against the host team, China and Yao Ming.
Well, you got China, the host team, as you mentioned. Guard play will be a factor. Angola, Charles Barkley had his way with them back in '92. They're improved. But then you got Greece and Spain, in my mind, 2 of the 3 best teams in the world right now. And then Germany with Dirk Nowitzki. So very interesting. But what you love about this Team USA is that Jerry Colangelo asked them for a 3-year commitment to really spill their guts and buy into the team concept. And they have. And even a guy like Tayshaun Prince, who's a great defender, has fit in. And so is this guy, too, Boozer.
Carlos Boozer, I'm feeling you. Late in the 4th quarter, that's when he's been getting his run. That's when Tayshaun Prince has been getting his run. They are the 11th and 12th men on this team. And Carlos Boozer puts the United States of America on top by 35 points. Late 4th quarter, late in the U.S.'s stay here in Macau, China. We're coming right back.
That he has a full head of hair.
She reminds me of my English teacher.
She has a really strong aura.
Hair is coiffed all the time.
I think he's hot.
Tune to Elections 08 on demand for all the information you need on interests, issues, facts, and candidates. Elections 08 on demand. Vote smart.
Press 890 on your digital remote or from your Channel 1 on-demand menu. Select News and World, then Elections 08.
Need an auto? Need the financing? Get them both now.
Call 1-877-933-6060.
Exclusively in your market for the financing of cars, trucks, and SUVs. $12 million will be allocated to those with bad credit, no credit bankruptcy, foreclosure, repossession, and charge-offs.
Call 1-877-933-6060.
Your credit does not determine your approval guarantee or will give you $100.
Call 1-877-933-6060.
Call right now. Don't wait until tomorrow. When these funds are gone, they're gone.
ESPN's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by State Farm, where great coverage meets great rates, and Sprite with Lyman.
We welcome you back to the beautiful Cotai Arena at the Venetian in Macau, China. The United States up 35 over Lithuania. Rick Kamla, Fran Fraschilla on the call for ESPN2. And off the bench, D.Wade with 19, M.Redd with 14. And the story of M.Redd making this team is fabulous.
Well, M.Redd was had an interview set up with Jerry Colangelo in Chicago. He drove from Milwaukee after practice in a sweatsuit, asked to be excused when he got to Jerry's room, went into the bathroom, changed into a suit, and he said later, he goes, I was taught that when I go on an interview, I'm to dress up. And that really impressed Jerry Colangelo. And obviously his outside shooting has impressed him as well. But that's the makeup of this team. A guy like M.Redd who does one thing really well, and that's shoot the ball, which is going to come in handy in international play, and accepts his role. I mean, how about K.Bryant today, setting the tone defensively more so than offensively, and D.Wade accepting the fact that he's coming off the bench, and Carmelo Anthony with only 9 shots today. Very selfless group. And they've been on fire offensively. The ball movement has just been sensational.
Kobe yesterday against Turkey had 5 steals and 7 assists. I mean, he had some fabulous dimes in that game. And today for K.Bryant, very good from the field for him. 6 of 9, 13 points, 3 assists. And as you said, set the tone defensively, taking Sarunas Jasikevičius and totally taking him out of the game.
Well, he did. And that's what he bought into. You know, he told Mike Krzyzewski last year at the Tournament of the Americas, that I want to guard the other team's best perimeter player. And he's shown you why he's a great all-around player.
I remember last year at the TOA, there was a player from Venezuela who actually plays in college. I can't remember his name right now.
Grievous Vasquez.
That's exactly who it was. Yep. And K.Bryant said that I want him. And Vasquez was like, you got to be kidding me. He's taking the challenge of guarding me, K.Bryant?
Well, you know how that started? Because it started because Mike Krzyzewski's Duke staff of Johnny Dawkins, now the coach at Stanford, Steve Wojciechowski, Chris Collins, all who are a part of Team USA right now, they kept talking up Grievous Vasquez and said, hey, he had a triple-double against us at Cameron Indoor Stadium. You got to shut this guy down. And Kobe said, look, you don't get a triple-double against me. So he really basically, and Grievous had a great laugh about it because he said, here I am 20 years old, and K.Bryant is making it a holy war, if you will, against me.
And needless to say, Vasquez did not do much in that basketball game. Kobe got the job done on both ends. 2:13 to go here from Macau. 116-80. The U.S. over Lithuania. Kobe and Melo. Are their bags packed, do you think? Or do you think they're going to go back to the hotel and pack for the trip to Shanghai?
Oh, I think they'll go back, and they don't have to go back to the hotel. The arena's in the hotel.
The arena's in the hotel.
No, but the next step now is to move on to China, go to Shanghai, Russia and Australia await. And the key is to keep your focus and not, you can't take too much away from this game, because if you remember, Rick, early on, I mentioned that ball handling would be a problem for Lithuania. And it has been. Karkanis has had a terrific game, the young man who played at Seton Hall. But Lithuania, while they have the great tradition, this is not a vintage club because of the injuries and the lack of ball handling.
The ball looked to be off the foot of a Lithuanian player, and they're keeping it with Gray. And time for the Sprite play of the game, Wade.
Oh! I think Don Quixote would love that windmill. Take a look at this. He windmilled it twice.
Oh, man. A windmill on an alley-oop? That's just stupid. Yeah. You see D.Wade right there saying to Jason Kidd, yeah, you doubted me. Yeah, you and the rest of the world doubted me. Are you doubting me now? You're not doubting me now, are you?
Well, we had a chance to watch him in practice last week, and it was evident before they played Canada that D.Wade is back. Great strength. Look at the penetration off the zone. Darren Williams will be a huge factor come Beijing because of the way he plays the international game.
I may be getting myself into trouble saying this, but I want your take on it. This three-headed monster at point guard, Kid Paul Williams. Has United States basketball ever been healthier at the point guard position?
Well, you think back to guys like John Stockton and Magic Johnson in '92. That was pretty good. But I think what you have right now in Jason Kidd at 35 years old is I don't think Mike Krzyzewski's going to ask him to play more than 15 to 20 minutes a game. They love his leadership out there. It's like having a veteran quarterback. But you got the two studs in Paul and Williams, arguably the two best young point guards in the world. And so I think they're going to be big factors once it gets really serious. But you can always count on the leadership and the great court vision of Jason Kidd.
M.Redd, yes. So he takes it strong with the dunk, takes it strong with the lay-in here, and M.Redd authoring another good game. He's had 2 of 3 strong games in these exhibitions.
When you can put the ball on the floor like M.Redd as well, your opponents have to, take a look at that and say it's not just a jump shot. See a little 2-3 zone right here by Team USA last few possessions.
And Chris Paul mashes it down. And the bench loving that.
Well, you know what? Some great highlights. But if you're Coach K, you're going to like a lot of things about this game. And obviously the unselfishness, the versatility. There'll still be some things to pick apart as they go to the film room. Now remember, Spain also handled Lithuania very easily a couple weeks ago. And we mention that because Spain is probably the primary competition for Team USA as we set up for Beijing.
Last possession for the United States, under 10 on the shot clock. And Paul yesterday did this and just handed the ball to Turkey. And I wonder if they'll even attempt another shot. They don't. The shot clock is off. 3.6 left in this game.
Well, good sportsmanship. You never want to rub it in. They'll inbound it. Team USA will move on to Shanghai.
Zero's on the clock. That is it. The United States wins this game 120-84. A 36-point victory for D.Wade and Team USA. Wade had 19 points to lead the U.S. and M.Redd solid off the bench as well with 16. D.Howard had 17. And it was another successful exhibition game for the United States. They beat Lithuania 120-84. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Fran Fraschilla and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Rick Kamla. Next up for USA basketball, they will be in Shanghai, and Fran and I will see you very, very soon with those broadcasts. Kobe up high, and we say so long from Macau.
Welcome to ESPN First Take, presented by DirecTV.
And thank you for choosing ESPN First Take for this Friday, August 1st. I'm Sage Steele in for Dana Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Crawford. The drama continues in the Brett Favre soap opera. Is it possible that number 4 is ready to replace the thrill of...
He gets a second at bat. We'll also do that.
Of $20 million. We'll have the very latest.
Also, baseball's Tread.
That would be Wayne Gretzky, coached by Barry Melrose. Manny, he grounded out too short. And his first Dodger at bat, the first pitch he saw. Much more on Manny in Los Angeles.
Ken Griffey Jr. putting on some fresh new white socks. Makes his debut. He'll bat 7th, start in center field. Some White Sox fans made it to Kansas City to welcome JR. First at bat, Sox fans welcoming him, and he would pay back the love.
Oh, just in the dirt.
A little wild pitch there that allows Jim Thome to get into scoring position. Luke Hochever. And then that's still one of the prettiest swings in the game.
Sure is.
1-0 White Sox. Welcome to town.
17.
Top 4. Griffey's second at bat. Same score. 1 on, 2 outs. Griffey looks. He gave you that little bounce in his step. He thought, maybe did I get it? Didn't get it. Still 1-0. Top 6. Griffey's third at bat. Still 1-0. 2 on. Hit it where they ain't. Another base hit. Carlos Quentin Hard-hitting Carlos Quentin comes in to score 2-0 White Sox. Bottom 7, DJ Carrasco facing Mike Aviles. Grounds out to Juan Uribe. So Ken Griffey Jr., 2 for 3, knocks in 2 runs. They're the difference. White Sox are winners. And we ask you the following question. We pose it to ESPN Sports Nation. Results coming later. Log on to vote, ESPN.com. Which team's acquisition gives it the best chance to win the World Series? The Angels, Buster only said, got Mark Teixeira for one reason, to win the World Series. The Brewers got CC. Obviously, the Cubs answered by getting Harden. The Dodgers end up getting Manny Ramirez for a couple of players, one of whom was batting .203, the other was 2-4 in A-ball. And the Red Sox get Jason Bay, who obviously contributed tonight. So a couple of guys paying off big dividends tonight. Log on to vote. Results coming later.
All right, the Twins fighting for first in AL Central recalled Francisco. 10-6 record and a playoff appearance. Don't forget, took Chuck Noll 6 seasons to win a championship and Cowher 14 seasons to get a ring. Trey Wingo on NFL Live in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Welcome to Steeler country.
The NFL Live Camp Tour finishes up under the lights in Latrobe, PA, as the fans came out to Latrobe High School. Ben Roethlisberger signing some autographs for some of the people as they continue to prepare for the 2008 season. Training camp practice this morning at St. Vincent College, the Steelers' training camp home for the last 42 years. Welcome into Latrobe, PA. Trey Wingo here with our own Merrill Hodge. You played a few games out here, right, in practice?
Yeah, well, practice out here, and this is a different way to practice out here because of the lights and all the fans. There's a different energy in practices like this.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm sure they do it, because they love their football here in Western Pennsylvania. As they get set to prepare for the upcoming season, Merrill, what is the key camp concern, in your opinion, for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, I think there's a couple of them. With only 80 players, I think the Steelers have to be very careful with the players that are around 30 years old. They have to be fresh and ready for the start of the season. And then the second-year players, the guys they drafted a year ago, most of those are defensive guys. They have got to make a significant impact, and they got to be impact players this year. And that's normally what happens. The second year is when you find the most out about a player and the most improvement, and the Steelers are hoping for both of those things.
All right, so as they segue into the regular season, what's going to be the key for their success?
You know, to me, it's Troy Polamalu. I mean, he is the most dynamic defensive player we have. If you go back to 3 years ago, he was probably singly the most important reason they went to the Super Bowl and won it. All the dynamic plays he made throughout the playoffs, the range which he plays with, Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator, utilizes that. He just gives this defense a completely different look than any other defense in football. And if he plays that high level, along with the way Ben played, this team will be right there.
Well, the Steelers have had the top defense in the NFL 3 of the last 7 seasons. Hanging out with Merrill's like hanging out with the mayor. All right, everybody loves Merrill Hodge in Pittsburgh, PA. We'll see you in Canton, Ohio, Saturday for the Hall of Fame.
Merrill Hodge done some good things, Don.
Jason Bay led off the 12th with a triple in Fenway Park and then scored on this Jed Lowry infield single. Bay scored both Red Sox runs. A big win, a great debut for Jason Bay in Boston. Ken Griffey Jr. also a good debut, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, and the White Sox win in Kansas City. Okay, there's an abundant population of black bears in Colorado.
Yeah, Firestone. He's John. I'm Scott. Baseball Tonight next.
Keep this in mind as we head now into August and then September, the Pennant Drive. Baseball Tonight, your exclusive home for in-progress highlights. These games in progress right now. We saw the O's and the M's at Safeco. Tim Lincecum on the mound for the Giants, and Manny making his debut against the big unit. On deck.
I feel like
their second win in 7 games. They are now 1-0 post Manny. Now the third of Friday's 3 big debuts. Ken Griffey Jr. wearing number 17 for the White Sox.
Is it kind of exciting to have a fresh start again at this point in your career?
Yeah, a little nervous.
You know, these, like I said, these guys have done a great job, and you know, I just want to help them get to a common goal, and that's winning a title.
Well, Kenny Williams said you'll see him in center field. He was in center, batting 7th in Kansas City. And White Sox Nation happy to have him. They're on their feet. Griffey Jr.'s first at bat in the Chicago uniform. Top 2, Luke Hochevar. Wild pitch, Jim Thome goes to center.
It's so weird seeing him with number 17 on his back. That's the first thing that stood out.
He said Nick Swisher agreed to let him have 30, but Jr. didn't want to be a distraction or disruption, so he'll stick with 17. And he's got himself a base hit and an RBI in his first at bat. 4th inning, his second AB. First pitch of the second at bat. Griffey cranks it. Could this be his first White Sox home run? Just a little shy.
And off the bat, he thought he had a chance. You could see him just the patented Griffey walk.
Here's the third at bat. Jam shot. But it's still a base hit. Carlos Fuentes scores. It's 2-0 Chicago.
See, there's no such thing as a jam shot when it's a hit. That's
exactly. And another RBI for Junior. Royals down 4-2. 2-on-2 out in the 7th. Aviles to third. Juan Uribe.
Pitches out of it.
First win in 7 starts for Javier Vasquez Jr. 2 for 3, 2 RBI. The White Sox win 4-2. So there you go, 3 big debuts. One still ongoing now with Manny Ramirez in L.A. What do you make of Manny and wearing number 99 and all the silliness? He had a little bit of a stand-up comedy routine prepared.